What is up, you guys? It's your boy AO Fuzz here with the Into the Thick of It podcast. I have an amazing guest with me today. It is Nightmare Fuel. You may know him in the kick streaming streets, but we're going to get to him here in a little bit. Again, guys, we got to pay our light bills in this channel here. Into the Thick of It podcast is brought to you by Glitch Energy. If you guys haven't checked out Glitch Energy already, are you living under a rock? Go check it out at glitchenergy.com. Use code AOFuzz at checkout for an amazing discount and a little bit off your purchase. Today, we're going to be talking about life, gaming, Twitter, and all the things in between. But today we have a really cool song. If you guys want to check it out, it is by Atlas. It is called Perfect. Enjoy it here on the podcast, and we will be right back with you.
If I ever made you feel like you ain't worth it. Oh, you're perfect, yeah. I know it gets hard, yeah, when I'm busy working. When I'm working, you know how my job gets. I know that regardless, you gonna stick with me through the hot shit, yeah. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you ain't worth it. Yeah, you're perfect for me. I love the fact you put the work in. 9 to 5, you on the grind, you be steady earning. Even though I got the money, yeah, to hold us down. Put that weight on yourself, don't wanna hold me down. Paycheck to paycheck, yeah, that's how we grew up. In the city that we're from, we supposed to be scrubs. They said I'll never make it. I put out songs and they blew up. I got the bag, I wanna share with a true one. I got some walls, you say you wanna start climbing. Don't bring them down, you need me to see you trying. Oh, I know that I'm blessed to have somebody like you that's gonna give me their best, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you ain't worth it. Oh, you're perfect, yeah.
That right there was Atlas Perfect. That was a really good song. That was a good. I'm gonna have to look at more Atlas. That was like that was a country bop right there. But welcome into the stream, Nightmare. How are we doing today? How are we feeling?
I'm doing fantastic, Fuzz. How are you doing?
Oh, waking my ass up.
Oh man,
Because your boy decided to take a nap. And that nap turned into a 2-hour sleepathon.
hey, naps sometimes are key to being successful. Okay.
Look, glitch is about the only thing that's gonna get me through today. Oh, God, these club opens are killing me, but you know it's okay. And welcome to the podcast, Into the Thick of It podcast. We go up, down, sideways, and sometimes in between. This is an adult podcast. Don't be afraid to be yourself. We might say such words as shit, bitch, fuck, and other words. So, with that being said, I have to ask you. This is my icebreaker question for every single person that comes into the podcast. What's your favorite curse word?
Probably would be fuck. I say fuck more than anything, or fuck this, fuck that. Sometimes God fucking damn it. Yeah, I would have to say
classic. It's a classic one. It never gets old.
It's no matter what you say. It's 9 times out of 10 every person's first cuss word out of their mouth.
100% facts. Mine has evolved over the years. Mine is now Spanish. It's pinche puta.
Oh, geez.
And it's all because of the girls that I work with. We just have a foul Spanish mouth.
I work with a lot of Spanish people doing construction, so
yeah, it's one of those.
Yes.
but
I totally get it.
They talk to me all the time, and they didn't know that I knew Spanish, and it was kind of funny. They're like, wait, you know Espanol? I'm like, sí.
Sí, un poquito.
But it's one of those things, and I'm gonna jump right into to the thick of it. These questions might be a little bit up, down, sideways, and in between. Um, how did you start your streaming journey? How did Nightmare come to be? Nightmare Fuel come to be?
I originally started out on Twitch in 2022. I have a friend of mine who goes by Circus MG3 that streams on Twitch. He jumped back and forth to Twitch, didn't come over to Kick until I suggested it to him. But I actually started off as that UPS guy because I was a UPS delivery driver. And then as time went on, I was like, in case I go bigger, I need to change my name. So I've always been into medieval times and knights, wizards, dragons, and then horror. So I said, what if I made myself a knight? But knights ride horses. So I said, what if I called myself Nightmare? And then you take that terminology people use for horror movies, and it's Nightmare Fuel, and you just add a K at the beginning of the name. So thus forth, Nightmare Fuel was born.
That is cool. Not a lot of people have a name like that. Mine was actually given to me by a friend. It was a nickname. um,
Yeah.
they were like, "Hey, yo, Fuzz." Originally, it was Dark Fuzzy. I don't know. That was another name given to me by a friend, and I just kind of kept the Fuzz part and put AO in front of it because everybody was literally like, "Ayo, Fuzz." That's what they always say to me. So I was like, I'm just gonna stick with this because it's kind of sticking. But yeah, that's actually cool that you kind of had like took the genres that you like and mashed them together into a name. Me, look, I cannot play those medieval times games. The Demon Souls, the Dark Souls, that stuff puts me into a rage. Worse than Call of Duty.
But that's where the content comes from. Like people love seeing when you rage and start getting you rage quit the game. Okay, we're going to Fortnite now because I had enough.
I can't. I will punch a hole straight through my monitor.
I can never say that I've done that because I haven't. However, I have tried out a VR game and I tried out the free boxing that was on it. And I was in a VC with my friends like at 5 a.m. trying it, and I almost punched my computer monitor.
Let's just put it this way. Back in my Twitch days, I have been known to break a keyboard or two. And when you have mechanical keyboards, they kind of get expensive.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine so.
So I chose not to bring the violence out. And just, you know what? Let's play my first-person shooters. I rage a little bit, not that hard. But I couldn't get into the demon souls of the gameplay. I remember playing on the PlayStation 4. I couldn't pass the. I was worse than Kai Cenat. I couldn't pass that first boss on that PlayStation PS4. No. I almost broke a controller. So
yeah, sometimes for certain people that actually happens. The game gets a little bit into the thick of it, and there's no other really reaction out of anger. You just kind of Hulk smash.
I was like, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go back to playing my Counter-Strike. And that kind of jumps
Counter-Strike in a while. Like I was playing Counter-Strike Go a lot before Counter-Strike 2 came out, and I don't know. I haven't played it lately.
Look, I'm from the old 1.6 days and CZ days. That's my like genre of FPS. So all the new stuff that comes out, I'm like, okay, this is y'all took a left turn when you didn't need to take a left turn. But this kind of jumps into your streaming journey and kind of where you ended up. What was one of your biggest failures that you had as a streamer, and how did you really adapt from it?
Sure. I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah. What was one of your biggest failures as a streamer, and how did you adapt and learn from it?
Self-doubt more than anything would be my biggest downfall. It's just looking at it as you're going to be doing it for a couple of years, so there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and there's times of the years where people are busy with family and whatnot, and so far and so forth. So it just, you got to remember that if you change your schedule too, there's 2 different time zones, so people are not going to make it or are going to make it. It's a matter of self-doubt is your biggest downfall, and that seems to always be mine.
Yeah, so self-doubt can be one of those things that us as content creators, we kind of go into that rabbit hole with it. Um, for me, yes, I've had those, and it's kind of, you got to rely on your community, you got to rely on your friends to kind of be like, dig you out of that hole a little bit. It does take time, but you eventually get there and go, you know what? Why was I even thinking that? Why was I even doing that? That was weird. But
Right.
that jumps into like another question, which is one of my weird questions I have for people. What is one of the weirdest smells you've ever smelled in life?
Oh God. I gotta think about that one. I mean, probably the with what I do now, the septic kind of smell working in a water treatment plant. Just it's supposed to smell like sulfur, but it's not sulfur. You know, it is people. It's the
Oh yeah.
it's extremity. It's what we as humans dispose from our bodies, and sometimes in the heat, that smell can be quite horrible.
But ugh. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Nope. My friend tried to get me into doing that, working at the water treatment plant, and I said nope. I will go
No,
lay asphalt.
we the company I've been working for about a year now. We build wastewater treatment plants. So,
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
I joined towards the end of the job, and we're trying to wrap up now. So, because we got
Well,
other jobs that we're supposed to get started.
hopefully you get those ones completed, because yeah, more power to you, because no, not me. I will go lay asphalt all day in concrete. I'm okay with that.
Well, we don't step into it. We smell it because of other tanks that are around it.
Uh,
I mean, eventually we will probably have to get into it at the next job when we're going to rehab some of that stuff. But I have not, I have not had the pleasure of stepping into it yet.
you don't want to.
I
This is
don't, I
another.
don't think anybody per se would ever want to, but it's a dirty job and somebody's got to do it.
Hey, if the money's right, the money's right. Um, this one goes into on the job site. What is one of the weirdest things you've ever witnessed and wished you never witnessed it?
Um, does it have to be this job?
Oh, it can be any job.
Working at UPS and watching a guy streak down the road running from cops butt naked. That would probably be the weirdest thing. I guess the guy was on drugs. So
One of the weirdest things I ever saw on a job is I used to work for FedEx. I worked for
okay,
FedEx for one season because they had a really good sign-on bonus, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go make this money real quick. It's not something I see myself really doing, but hey, sign-on bonus is great.
oh
I
yeah,
was I was working in the packing and sorting facility, and this box came through, and it just looked a little odd. And when there was boxes that were kind of odd, we would flag them, to be like scanned or like looked at. And
right.
this box, it was a big old box. It was like a good 2 foot by 2 foot box, and it was heavy AF. And the label that was on it said it was only like, I think like 10 pounds. And I was like, this is not 10 pounds. This thing's like a good 100 pounds. Um, Set it to the side, ran it through the the X-ray machine. The whole box was full of dildos.
Oh, I've had that happen at UPS, but I had to repackage them because they were all vibrating.
And mind you, where the sorting facility was, it was on the outskirts of a small town. and I happened to notice the name on it. And I had been on a route before, and I know who this person is. And it was being delivered to about an 80-year-old woman.
Oh, wow.
She had ordered about 50 different items.
Oh, no.
And
Oh,
I was
God.
like, lady, you get it. You do you, lady. But that was the running joke we had, that I found the mysterious vibrators. That joke went around way too much at work. It just looked suspicious and it smelled weird. And I was like, something's wrong with that. Yeah. Well, apparently I knew which ones were the vibrators.
Oh, geez.
And this jumps into a little bit of a weird question about streaming. What
No, I
is
don't touch vibrators while I'm streaming.
you might might be a new thing. What equipment or software do you recommend to a new streamer?
I know a lot of people are going to say use Streamlabs, but if you're a new streamer with just starting maybe with a gaming PC, I would definitely go with OBS software. Uses less computer, CPU, GPU. It'll help everything run a lot more smoother for you. The image quality, and if everything's set up right, it will be just downright perfect. So always, always, always use OBS, because there's always somebody out there that was willing to help you sit down and set up all your inputs, outputs, whatever you need. OBS is definitely the way to go.
Look, me and OBS, we have a love-hate relationship. It's like a toxic ex, in my opinion. Sometimes OBS works great for me, and it's an amazing copacetic, friendship. And other
Right.
times, we fighting. Oh, we fighting hard. And it's only when I want to play Call of Duty does my OBS decide to want to take a poop.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had that happen to me, but once I put it on an SSD, it's an M.2. I don't have those issues with Call of Duty anymore. I noticed when I use stuff like Razer Cortex to kind of help speed up the process on my computer, it would help pretty much put the GPU, CPU everywhere it needed to play a game or run certain software. But as I uninstalled that, I also had a lot more good luck with OBS and a lot less problems, because it used to close out my OBS when I'd start a game.
Look, all I know is Razer software can eat a bag of dicks. I'm gonna be real honest. Razer, fix your shit. I didn't know that, Razer peripherals would have this much of an issue and be this much of a RAM intensive hog.
Right.
I have 128 gigs, and Synapse at one time was using it was like 58 gigs.
Wow.
I was like, hold on, what are you doing? And luckily I found the updates and redid it to like a stable version of the client. But
Yeah.
man, God, Synapse, you suck. Shout out to my sponsor Razer. But it still sucks.
Oh, jeez.
Logitech does it right. I might have to switch back to Logitech peripherals again. But I like the software just because it allows me to go edit keybinds, and I can actually use multiple different buttons as a second stream deck. So it's a little easier for me. But, neither here or there. There's always little issues you have with streaming. Sometimes it's the camera that decides to go crazy on you. Thank goodness I do not have a tiny bot. All my friends that have tiny bots say that the tiny bot likes to hoe them a lot, and just start moving.
Yeah, I have a friend that uses TinyBot, and he's constantly going, track me.
But
So
it's one of those funny things. This jumps into the next question of what are some misconceptions that people have about streaming?
I think a lot of people think that right off the bat that they're gonna be famous, they're gonna make a lot of money. This is gonna be so easy. People seem to think that just like Rome, that it's gonna be built in one day. No. Streaming is gonna be many years of dedication, constantly reevaluating and evaluating the content you make, the way you present yourself, and that goes without saying, because people don't want to come into you being in streaming and you're not talking to your chat, you're not being genuine, you're kind of just being selfish. Like, you got to be patient. Streaming is definitely something that takes a little bit of time, and not everybody has the time or the dedication to do so. Some people have plenty of that time on your hands. It's all about taking time for you and not pushing yourself too hard. You need to take time off. Take time off. Don't sit and think that you have to stream every single day. You don't. Take a few days a week, take a day a week, or stream every day if you think you can handle it. But you got to manage the burnout as well as if you are streaming every day, as well as managing the content you put out for other people.
Yeah, that's kind of that jumps into the next question I had for you is how did you balance making content and all that stuff? Does a community play like a big role in that for you, or are you just one of those people that has like a goal and a plan and just kind of sticks with it?
See, I have both. I have a community that backs me, and I have goals and plans that I'd like to achieve. And that goes without saying, because you cannot have goals that you want to achieve without having a community behind you. Community is everything. Not having a community is just, there's no purpose on being a streamer, because without having a community, there's no streams. Without you, there is no me. I'm lucky enough to have people that I've been friends with since I started my streaming journey that are still by my side now, and they're my mods. They come in every night. If they can't, that's no problem. I would have to say one of my biggest downfalls so far right now as a streamer is I like to do shout outs for everybody, which I really got to work on, because that kind of distracts me from playing the game. And then when I'm playing with people, it's like, okay, we're playing a game here. I kind of need your focus,
Yeah, I get that challenge. With me, I, everybody knows that comes to my stream, it's going to be a gutter tier moment. We're gonna have those technical issues. We're gonna have the shout outs, the random thing.
We've had a lot of technical issues on my streams throughout the years, but what is a stream without at least one technical issue?
Look, I haven't had. Well, actually, I should knock on wood. I haven't had one of those ones that's been that bad yet. But I think the best one I've ever done was I accidentally hit. I hit the go. I re-downloaded OBS, all my plugins, and I just wanted to like do a fresh reinstall on it, because it's been like 2 years since I've reinstalled the program and kind of got all the junk out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hit the go live button, and I didn't, just like subconsciously didn't even remember I was live. Just testing the new scenes, testing stuff I was working on, and all of a sudden I see an alert go off, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And then I see another alert go off, and I'm like, "Wait, hold on, what is going on?" I had gotten like 3 back-to-back hosts.
Oh,
and I wasn't even meant to be live. That was one of my like moments. Have you ever had any moments like that streaming?
I've had it plenty of times where it'd be times where I'm talking and I forgot to unmute my mic. There was once or twice where I've accidentally, because my mouse would not stay in the game screen, that I ended my live. And it took me a couple minutes to realize. I'm like, oh shit! I have to place the start button. I ended my live by accident. I've also, and I got a clip of it somewhere. When I first started streaming on Kick, I broke my chair. I was leaning backwards just a little bit to grab a can of soda from under my bed, and my chair snapped. One of the wheels off. So that's fun. You can find that on my YouTube. It's one of the only clips on my YouTube.
I've broken too many chairs.
We won't mention the time when I first started streaming on Twitch, where I was playing Ark, streaming it, and the fan blade broke off of the ceiling fan over my head, and almost cracked me in the head and just put a little bit of a hole in the wall.
Oh God, that's
Yeah.
that's never good. Um, Mine is just me, flying backwards out of my chair. And it's always when I'm not streaming. It's kind of a blessing in disguise. But I'll be in Discord with friends about ready to stream, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you good? We just heard like World War V happen." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just flew backwards out of my chair, rolled, hit the wall, the shelf fell on me. I thought I was gonna die, but we're good. We're good now." It'll eventually happen on stream one time. I just know because for some reason, man, I am the worst when it comes to picking out like computer chairs that actually like work. Because I'm in that awkward weight.
Yeah.
I'm too heavy for the big guy chairs, and I'm too small for the actual gaming chairs. I just wish they had that middle ground of good computer chair that'll last you a while. Because the ones for the 300-pounders out there, they don't last. And
They
I
do
also
not.
and I also think they're lying about the weight. It's just it's a conspiracy. This jumps into a little different question I have for you. What is one of the cringiest things you've ever seen on the internet?
Cringiest things I've seen on the internet. Cringy as in what?
It could
What are
be
we talking about?
anything. It can be video. It can be a streamer. It can be anything. What is one of the cringiest things you've ever seen on the internet? And it's one of those things where you watch it and you go, "Why did I watch that? But why can't I look away?"
I can't honestly off the top of my head. I really can't think of anything. Like, mm, I, yeah, I'm gonna draw a blank on that one. I mean,
Look,
there's just so much cringe that it's like I can't really off the top of my head think of anything recently I've seen that's cringe.
look.
You
Mine
know,
is mine is
except
this.
for I mean, I'm gonna say it every time you see anything about neon, I cringe because I mean,
Well,
to,
that's neon.
I'm being nice, so
That's neon has look, a lot of those streamers that are, I don't even know how they got famous or did what they did. All their content that I see, I'm just like, this is a social experiment for when the burnout is going to happen. But one of the cringiest videos I've been seeing right now, it was on TikTok. And it's this guy that he was trying to like dance, and it was this skinny guy, and he maybe had, I'm talking, a pound on his body.
oh jeez.
He was like trying to, I guess, twerk, and it was just nothing. It was giving me nothing but backbone, just
Oh no.
backbone and shoulders. It looked like a turkey flailing.
Oh jeez.
And I couldn't stop looking at it. And I was like, why am I looking at this? I'm like, that man is trying so hard. But that was one of my cringiest moments. Speaking about streaming, can you share one of the most memorable moments in your streaming career?
Well, it could be the night that I actually got verified on Kick, because that was the first time I ever had anybody in the Kick staff actually come in and talk to me for a little bit, and that was the first time where I reached like I think it was like 780 viewers that night, and it was from that night on, being verified, that I realized that I was doing something right. Now, granted, after that, there's been plenty of trolls, people wanting to take credit for the work I do, which is just not right, because I put in a lot of work to get where I'm at. But that comes without saying, because I fell off too, because I just had so much happening in real life, from work, family, trying to find work, and I had lost my motivation to do anything further. But I kept going, and I kept fighting. I kept doing what I needed to do, and now it's just trying to get myself back up to where I can hit KCIP, and that's just needing the viewership. So that's just the biggest struggle right now.
Yeah, it'll come. It'll come. I always say that streaming has its ups and downs in any aspect that you do. It has highs, it has lows. it's how you react to those situations. And yeah, KCIP would be great. Yeah, being verified would be great for me. But it's for me, I'm on the opposite spectrum of the streaming space. I to be brutally honest, I do not care about a check mark. I do not care about the KCIP. I just come to have a good time and vibe. And a lot of people go, "Oh, that's weird. That's fake." And I'm like, "No, if you look at
goal, not everybody wants to achieve being verified and being part of the KCIP. People are just happy being where they're at as an affiliate and growing their channel, And a lot of that too could change over time. Like you could be starting to have a mass following and be like, "Hey, look, I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to go for being verified because I'm starting to get the numbers."
Yeah. See, and that's the thing with me is if it happens, it happens. I'm never gonna push for that. It's just not something I'm into.
Yeah.
Because I've had opportunities where I've had a lot of people in my chat and a lot of people in there, and it's not for me. I would rather have my small knit community, even though we're not small. Just vibing and having a good time and be able to connect with more people than having 100 people in my chat talking at once.
Right.
It's just not my thing. And I've even told that to staff. I was like, look, I don't want the verified check mark. I do not want any of that stuff. If I ever were to receive it, I probably wouldn't even take it. It's just not me. It doesn't devalue you as a streamer having a check mark. It doesn't devalue having KCIP. I just believe in having a vibe and a good time.
Right.
Because there's some streamers out there that I see on KCIP, and I'm just going to be blunt and honest. I'm like, how do you have KCIP? Because
I'm not gonna go there.
Oh, I know you're not gonna go there, but I'm gonna go there because I'm just gonna say it because that's just me.
I already get blacklisted enough. Like, Kick decides that they want to give me a front page feature only when I tell them how long it's been since they've actually paid attention to me. And they gave KCIP to people who, when it dropped, to people who weren't even verified yet. They just skipped over the verified streamers. Like, yeah, hey, go fuck yourself.
You know what? The time will come for you. I believe in it, and I wouldn't have you on the podcast if I didn't believe in what you stood for and what you're about. And
it's appreciated.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you gotta. And I've said this on my last podcast, and a lot of people kind of glossed over it. I don't put people on my podcast that I don't have a genuine connection with and want to see them succeed. There have been people that have reached out to me that have a bigger following and have a lot more things out there, but I've chose to not put them on my podcast. I've chose to just not. I would rather have a genuine connection with somebody and have a balance of authenticity than have a let's just use the name or another name. Like I said, I told Lauren, I love you to death. But Lauren, I love you to death, Lauren. But you don't need to come on here and have this, or right. Like a BB Jess or any of those people. Like I would appreciate having a conversation, but I really want to spotlight people in the community that are not necessarily up and coming. That's not the right word to use.
That are not getting as much traffic as BB Jess and streamers would get, because those streamers get a lot of traffic already. And it's not me trying to sound jealous or conceited in any way. It's people who are smaller should be given a little bit more of a spotlight than people who are big. It should be, I get giving your bigger streamers just a little bit more of a spotlight, but it should be I'm not going to say 50-50. I'm going to say 25% big streams, 75% little. Because after out of that 75% little starts turning into a bigger stream, you're just shuffling along, and now you're kind of making it an even platform all the way around.
Yeah, and we actually talked about that in the Kick Talk that we were a part of. And I told Santa Maria this, and when we have the opportunity to talk to Eddie, I will be bringing it up to Eddie. the content on this platform, your affiliates are what make your content. I get that, you have your XQCs, you have your people up there that have these crazy big communities. That's great. But really what makes the platform is your affiliates. Your affiliate level people are what make your platform. And it's time that we have a little bit more discoverability. And
yeah, I'd love to be on one of those talks and get a follow from Eddie, because I mean, there's
trust
so
me.
much to say.
If you have some questions, believe me, I'm not afraid to answer them. And I made it known in that podcast that I was not afraid to answer those questions.
Right.
It's one of those things where we got to have a little bit more of an open discussion and roundtable. It's great to have those big names on and have those conversations with a CEO. I haven't really seen it ever done like that, and I appreciate Santa Maria, and I do appreciate Eddie for being open to have those conversations, because man, there's sometimes we hit them with questions that are like out of left field. and they do answer them. It may not be the answer that we want, but it's they're thinking about it.
Right.
And that's the one thing I have to say about Kick that I value is the feedback and the availability of staff. Yeah, staff can't be in every single person's stream, and don't feel that you're left out. Look, I've been on Kick for almost going on 2 years now. And they threw me on that front page, and I didn't know how to handle myself. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, what am I doing on this front page? You could take me off right now.
Right.
And it's one of those things where the exposure, yeah, that was great, but man, did that stress me? It stressed me out. Like, I'm one of those streamers that shit stressed me the fuck out. I had trolls coming in left and right. It was nutty. But this, speaking on that, is how do you deal with trolls on the platform? Do you give them a little bit back, or you lay the doom hammer on them?
I can dish it out as much as I can take it. I let people talk because, let's face it, they're trolls. But every minute they spend in your stream talking is a viewer. So I let them talk. When it starts getting sexist, racist, threats of violence, or anything of that sort that like it's out of pocket, then the ban hammer gets dropped immediately. I will let you talk all day, but when comments like that are insulting to one's race, sexual belief, religion, ethnicity, that's not going to fly. I don't like it. I wouldn't want anybody to do it to me, so I will not allow that to happen to anybody else.
That part. With me, I guess being a mod for the people that I mod for, I have like a very diverse. I have the opposite spectrum of where the trolls are just heavy, or I come to the opposite spectrum where it's a free for all. I have some people that I mod for that, man, they go to town on the trolls, which I live for. But I have other streamers that they don't want that in their mental, and they don't want that in their energy, and quick to throw the ban hammer.
Yeah.
Straight. They don't even know half the time when somebody's just been poofed to the ether. To the shadow realm. But what is one piece of advice that you could give to somebody starting out live streaming to a new audience? What is one piece of advice you could give?
Turn off your viewer account. Hide it if you can. Don't look at it. They're just numbers. It doesn't matter when you're first starting out. Just be there. Do your thing. Everything, as far as streaming goes, is a learning process. Don't turn off the camera. Like, if a lot of people start showing up, because you're getting bashful, take your minute, collect yourself. But definitely don't look at the numbers as if you're on your screen. Not only are they always correct because it doesn't refresh on time, you could have more viewers, you could have less. But it's better to keep going. Do not pay attention to the numbers of people that are actually like in there. Just pay attention to how long you've been live and having a good time. That is the most important part. If you're not having a good time, then you probably need to not stream. Get your mind right, come back. I'm not saying give up, but what I'm saying is don't stream if you're feeling some kind of way, because that'll affect the vibe of your stream, and people really do pick up on that.
100%. Now, speaking about games that you play, all right. I see that we play a broad variety of games here.
I do.
Now, do you have any funny Dead by Daylight moments? Because I have pooped my pants on multiple occasions playing Survivor and Killer.
I played.
Do you have any DBD moments?
I played with. I'm just gonna go ahead and. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's just a good friend of mine now, as we stand. But I played with Zombella Dropa, and I never wanted to play before until she's taught me the ropes. And they used to be our thing. We used to play all the time, and then we kind of branched out to, Fortnite and stuff like that. But I would always make myself the meat bag. Let me get killed, let her survive. Sometimes I would survive, but I had a video probably close to the end of last year. It was one of the last times we played Dead by Daylight last year, where I was talking smack, and then 5 seconds later, while doing a gen, the killer comes up behind me, picks me up, and then throws me on a hook. So it's like, that's what I get.
It happens. Look, I'm a Killer main, so I'll play with friends as Survivor. But being a Killer main, I love doing the stealth builds, especially on Michael Myers, Ghostface, even the I can't remember the new guy, the new dude that's all twisted up. I have a build on him that every time I play it, people just get jump scared, and I love it. But it's one of those fun games to play. Marvel Rivals has been one of those ones that I've kind of started to pick up, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. It's better than Blizzard's game, but hey, it's a little fun.
I every time I am on that, I always use either the Hulk or Punisher, and I do really well with the Hulk. I have went as far as to like a 20 kill game on the Hulk, but didn't make MVP. I don't know how that works, but the Hulk is fun to use, and then using Punisher is really good. Like if you're wanting to quick clear out the room, you throw down the gun turret and you just go to town.
Look, I like myself some Rocket. That's my character. I like Rocket. Mr. Rocket Raccoon.
I've never tried Rocket.
Rocket's fun to me, especially if you have a group, man. Oh god, it's just the level of insanity and sweat that ensues.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that little question I had. I know that kind of went off on a tangent on that one. But the next question I have, it's kind of a little bit of a deep one. It's, where do you see yourself in streaming in 5 years, and how do you stay motivated to keep streaming?
I mean, I can't really tell you where I'll be in 5 years. I could be still streaming. I could be retired and just doing it on the side for fun. I do plan on going to school for construction management, so I'm gonna sit down on financial aid this Friday. And if I do, streaming goes to the back burner, and it'll be in when I can, if I feel like it, kind of thing, because school is going to be more important. So, I'd like to see myself reach the KCIP, but at the same time, it's not a necessity to me. I do really well with streaming. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing horrible, but then I have some really good friends that just remind me of, how well I actually do.
That's awesome that you're going into that field. That's a fun field to go into. It's a rewarding field, and you can make a very good, decent living at it. Especially, there's always things that need to be built. There's always things that need to be managed, and construction management is if you don't have people that actually know what they're doing and can create a plan, it's never going to get done. let's just put it that way. Because I've worked for a couple people where I'm like, are we even gonna like build this building? Because it's been like 6 months and you haven't even poured foundation. I've showed up to a couple job sites and I'm like, okay, I'm here to work and there is nothing to do. So I'm just going to go sweep pebbles. Cause I'm getting my money time in here. So yeah, I worked for a construction company that, they did not have their shit together. It took them, I think almost a year to build, it was like a 2-car garage. And I literally would show up some days and nobody would be there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still getting paid. So I just sit here and push things around, I guess. But yeah, that's a cool field to go in. I hope the financial aid goes well. And I hope you get what you want out of it. Cause now's the time to kind of go back to school and figure out what you want to do. Cause I always tell people streaming will always be there. You can always come back to it. Your community will be there. It may be a little rocky at the first start of it, but they're always going to be there for you. And this jumps into a little bit of a weird question, but what does family mean to you?
Family's everything. Your friends, you can replace your friends. There's plenty of people out there you can connect with, be friends with. I don't mean that in a harm or harsh sounding tone, but friends come and go. Family's forever, and I would not be even the man I am today without my family behind me. So I'm going to stand tall on the fact that family is more important to me than anything in the world. No one's going to change my mind.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Is with my thing is family is what you make it. It doesn't have to be necessarily blood related or anything like that. Family is really what you make it. And there's going to be those ones that are always going to be there for you, and just hold it down, and that's the people you keep close. This next part of the podcast is the rapid fire podcast questions. Okay. This is where we yes and no answers. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And we're going to get into it here in a little bit. After that, I will let you have the floor. You have about like 5-10 minutes. You can talk about your socials, talk about stuff that you're doing, anything like that. You're more than welcome to say it. So we're going to get into these rapid fire questions here.
Okay.
And have a little fun with it here. What is your favorite breakfast?
Bagels.
Favorite body part?
My hand.
Okay. Favorite word in any other language?
Favorite word. Probably puta.
Okay. Your favorite store?
Best Buy.
Your favorite type of music?
Country.
What would be your Hogwarts house?
Gryffindor.
Describe your style in one word.
Whatever.
What do you collect?
Hats.
Car or airplane person?
Both.
Okay. What's one of the best dishes you can cook?
Probably spaghetti.
What's a hidden talent?
Oof. Probably drawing.
And last but not least, what is your favorite Disney character?
Oof. Stitch.
Stitch. Oh, good old Stitch. Mohana is family. that is the
Or Hannah is family, and the family means none better gets left behind or forgotten.
Good old Stitch. That is the rapid fire questions for you here. Again, appreciate you just coming to the podcast, having some fun, getting to know you a little bit better. I will have links to all of Nightmare Fuel's social medias in the description below. I'm going to give the floor to you to talk your shit, say whatever you want to say what's on your mind, let people know where they can find you, let people know what type of codes you have. And the floor is yours, my guy.
All right, so as you guys know, as Fuzz so politely and amazingly said, my name is Nightmare Fuel. I am a variety streamer of wide resorts, anything from God of War, Fortnite. I do ARC on Saturday with family and friends. I currently am working in construction, hoping to go to school. One thing I can tell all of you is to always chase your dreams, not give up. It's going to get rough, but life's going to get rougher before it gets better. You're going to struggle really hard, and you're going to go under pressure, as charcoal to become a diamond, or whatever that saying is. But got to be kind, got to be patient with yourself. If you got somebody who's really important to you, don't let them go. Kind of listen to them, what their needs are. Think with this problem, do better. Leave your problems at the door when you're streaming. Don't bring it into your streams. Always come in with a clear mind. Value the input of others, but kind of take that upon yourself as it would a grain of salt. Because someone's opinions of you could not match what you actually are. I got plenty of different people that I have codes with. Glitch, Code Nightmare, Freshen Up, Code Nightmare, Lure Arts, Code Nightmare, Positivities, Code Nightmare. All these give you 10% at checkout, off your discount at checkout. I'm just a fun guy, just trying to have a good time, trying to make friends, trying to turn a hobby into a passion, have a good time, see where it goes. I got a few friends, Tarot, Valentine, Grace's Christ, Grace's Wipolita, Crazy Mike Gaming, Hokey Pokey, It's J Sosa, and most importantly, my now friend instead of significant other, Zambella Atropa, who you guys should kind of check up on too. There are going to be some up and coming streamers, in my opinion. But I really love you guys. I appreciate you, Fuzz, for giving me a platform somewhere I can talk and kind of get myself out there. Remember, there is no success without failure. If you're not trying, you're not succeeding. That's all I got.
That part right there, guys. Again, if you appreciate you being here, keep on the up and up. You got this shit. We believe in you. The squad believes in you, as well as SBS. Keep doing what you're doing. Remember, you are somebody. And that is all we have for today, guys. We appreciate you being here. Again, links to everything will be down below. Go check out Nightmare Fuel. I'll also throw in the links of all the other friends that you mentioned earlier. Go check them out. Show them some love. They go live a lot. So if you see them, check out the Twitter for when they go live and get those notifications turned on. Until next time, friends, remember, I say this in every episode, and it's just the tagline that's stuck. Make sure you spay and neuter your spouses and have a great night.